Hi, good morning. I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. We've had a little bit of a delay this morning and then I thought it was going to be a longer delay and now it's not a longer delay. So thanks for your patience. If you're here joining me live, wonderful. If you end up watching the recorded version, that's fine too. That's all good. I called a plumber on Thursday? It's one day last week, and they said they'd come here today, and they said they would come between 8 and 11. And I said, well, I can't be at the house till 8:30 because I wanted to do the podcast at the beach. I'm like, oh, we can't adjust our time at all. And I'm like, if you're not making me the first appointment, what's the difference? And so she wouldn't budge, and I said, okay, fine. So I thought, well, I'll do the podcast from home, and it should be fine. When he comes to the door, I'll answer the door. So they ring the doorbell at 7:25 and I'm like, first of all, who the heck is at my door at 7:25 in the morning? And second of all, how do I adjust for the podcast now? So at first I thought, didn't know how long he'd be, so I thought I'd postpone the podcast. Then he was in and out of here in a flash. And so now, I guess we're almost close to normal time, but we're not at the beach. We're in my new studio, yay. So if you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know if you're crafting. I'll show you what I've been working on this weekend. Good morning, Karen. Hi, Annie. I've missed a few names. Sorry about that. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Melissa. I think I saw some comments about making gifts from 80 Handmade Gifts. That's awesome. Good morning, Pamela. Hi, Judy. Thank you for joining me live. I almost finished two colorways of my mandalas. I've got my pinky purple one and I've got all my ends woven in. So I've got this one's in Be So Baby yarn in peach, princess pink, orchid pink, diva pink, and violet. And then I repeated those colors for a total of 10 rounds. You can find this mandala pattern on my website with chart, written instructions, and video tutorial. And so it's done in a different yarn in the pattern, but this is done in Be So Baby yarn, which is my new DK weight milk fiber yarn, and it's done with a size E crochet hook. And I also did it in a second new color combination. Thank you everybody for the compliments on my studio. Thank you so much. So this is the den in my new to me rental. And so I have set it up as a video studio so that I can do lots of tutorial videos in here and podcasts if I need to, like today. So this room will always have that set up. It'll always have the desk in the middle, and it will always have my lighting and my tripods and everything set up in here. All my mannequins will stay stored in here just so that they're ready for any time I want to do a video. Everything's ready to go. And so that was always the goal, was to have a dedicated space for video. So it's going to be so much easier to be able to record when something's ready to go all the time. So back to the mandalas. This is the second one that I did this week. I did the pink and purple one, hopefully for my room, my bedroom, I think. And then this one's for the kitchen, and I wanted to do beachy colors. Hi, Mar. Hi, Chris. And so this one I did in Be So Baby yarn. I did colors Snowflake, Platinum, Baby Blue, Splash, and Turquoise. And then I repeated those 5 colors a second time. Now, I didn't do the last round because the last round on these is the one that I will add to a metal ring. And I'll show you how to do that when I have the metal rings. The other thing that I wanted to show you how to do was make macrame feathers out of yarn. This one hasn't been trimmed yet, so it doesn't have the right shape. But you can see how I've brushed out the plies of the yarn. So like this is what the yarn looks like. And then when you brush it out, you get all those delicate plies, and it looks way more delicate like a feather. And it's just a really simple knot that we tie the fringe to the center spine for. And I'll be able to show you that hopefully very soon now. I really want to figure out the best way to trim this symmetrically and with a feather shape. And so far, obviously, I have not done a good job. but I used a pair of scissors that were not the sharpest scissors that I own. So I want to make sure that I feel confident in how I've done it before I start showing you how to do it. I'd hate to teach you incorrectly. But you certainly get the gist of it. So this would be, so once this is on a ring, there'll be fringe hanging down, and I'll have these feathers dangling down off of the fringe. Melissa, you think it looks good now? Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad. It's just, I feel like it needs to be shaped a little bit rounder. So I'm going to work on that with sharper scissors, and I feel like once I do that, then it'll be time for tutorial. What was next? I finished the bodies for, yeah, Judy, a ruler and a rotary cutter would probably work too. Absolutely. So I also wanted to show you that I finished the bodies on my 3 little babies. So this was the larger baby. Yeah, putting a leaf on top as a guide is a great idea. Yes, that is a great idea. So we've got, here is the largest one, here's the medium one, and here is the smallest one. And the small and the medium turned out to be kind of similar. Maybe I should have done a 4th stripe on the medium. So what the difference is in diameter of the head. I'll show you up here. This one is the biggest head, and it has, I think, 48 stitches in the widest round, and then this one has 42, and then this one has 36. And it won't be until they're filled that I think you'll really start to see that. And I think what might be fun to do is adjust the length of the legs. So I think I'm going to do short legs on the big body, and then maybe long skinny legs on the little body, and maybe do something medium on the medium one. But so what's going to happen? See, but I do have fiber fill with me. Let's fill one so I can show you what I'm talking about. So what's unusual about this shape, you can buy fiber fill at any craft store or online. I'll pop some into my Amazon shop in case you don't have stores close by where you can pop in and do that. So you have to fill them before you can, once you make the body, you really do have to fill them before you can go any further. I sure hope I brought my, I did bring a needle with me this morning. Wow, I'm feeling really organized, even though things didn't go my way this morning. I was a little panicked when that guy showed up at 7:25. I'm like, how do I organize this now? Because I like to be very organized, especially when it comes to being timely and on time for things. So once he put that monkey wrench in this morning, I was like, I don't know what to do now. Okay, so I filled this one pretty full. You don't want it so full that it's not squishy, right? So, but it is fairly full. And what I wanted you to see is that it's going to be round at the top like the head of a normal stuffed animal. But we're going to sew this one flat, not round. So it's not going to be a tube. It's going to be round at the top and flat at the bottom. And that's going to give us a prominent right side and wrong side. So not right side, front and back. And by doing this, we'll have a front for putting eyes, nose, and a mouth. And then we'll have specific sides to do a right and left side for arms. And on the bottom, we'll put our 2 legs. And I think that that's going to give us a really nice, simple body. And then, like I said before, we'll be able to do different types of ears and different types of details in the face if you want to do different animals. I think I'm going to start with bunnies because I want to call them little lover bunnies. And I know, silly. So maybe when I make different versions of it, we'll call it lover kitties and lover puppies and whatever. But I love the name lover bunny, and so I want to call these the little lover bunnies. So that's my thought process so far. We'll see if I change my mind in the next couple of days before I release them. But I think this is going to make a really, really simple body. So what you're going to do is just sew this up. And once you sew that up, you'll have a spot for sewing arms and legs. So I haven't even made those yet because I really needed to get the stuffing in there, get it filled, and sew this up to get an idea. In fact, we could keep filling all of them. Let's fill all of them. Then you'll actually see the size difference of the 3 really well. And at that point, I can decide if I need to make the medium one a little bit longer. My gut is telling me it's too short. So I might have to unravel the medium and make it a smidge taller. But you can see how easy it is to fill these. The stitch that we used, single crochet in the round, and the gauge we used with a significantly smaller hook than what the yarn would normally call for, really gave us a nice tight fabric, which is what you need for doing stuffed animals that you're going to fill. You don't want that fiber fill popping out of your stitches. That wouldn't look very nice. So you really want a tight stitch for that. Doing a tight stitch on a soft yarn will still give you a nice finished feel. It won't feel too stiff either. It's a good combination for a stuffed animal. Okay, so here's our little one. Could use, hi Kim, thanks for joining live. A lot easier to do tutorials here than at the beach, but I still miss the beach. We'll go back tomorrow. Okay, so we've got it filled and round at the top, and on the bottom here we're going to sew it flat so it goes like that. So here's the small one, and we'll show it next to the tall one, biggest one. You know, it's just the easiest body I could think of, Dee, and I think once you see arms and legs on it and face and ears, I think you're going to see that it still has a very much a look of a stuffed animal. It just takes the pressure off of, if you're new to making animals, it takes the pressure off of making so many details. There's a lot to learning how to make details in small pieces like this, and if you're not used to it, it can be really intimidating. So I think this will just be a great beginner project for that reason. Okay, so here's our large, here's our medium, and here's our small. Maybe I could stand them up here so we can see them side by side. This is the clipboard that I use for making those feathers. Yeah, so you can see the medium looks almost the same size as the small now because of the height. So I think I'm going to do, you know what, I could even just make the pink a little bit longer on this one. I could make this portion bigger because I'm not sure it actually needs a 4th stripe, but I think it needs a couple more rows here. So what I'm going to do is unravel back the decrease section, go back to the main section here, and just add a couple more rows of pink just to make it about a 1/2 inch taller. I really want it to be, the height to be halfway between these two. I think that's when it'll really be obvious that there's a small, medium, and large. Does that make sense? And does anybody have any questions? I've been talking away. Yeah, Mara agrees with me. Make it a touch taller. Yeah, because look at this, these stripes are shorter than these stripes, so. Actually, yeah, the small, I thought about that too, because this has 4 stripes and this has 3 stripes. Making this one 2 stripes might be a good idea. I think I like that even better because I had a problem with that last night. I was like, you know what? I don't like the fact that they're not completely different. So I think I like the other option. I can't remember who said it just now. Or maybe maybe this one needs to be a smidge taller and this one needs to be a smidge smaller. So. All right, well, back to the drawing board a little bit, but hey, that's what being creative is all about, right? You can't pressure yourself to do perfect the first time around. Being creative is a process, and sometimes it's trying something and seeing what works and what doesn't work and fine-tuning it until you get it exactly the way you want it. So it's all good. Thank you, Mary. I love the colors too. I should probably mention what colors I used. This is platinum. This is splash. This is orchid and platinum. And this is turquoise and orchid. And what I tried to do here so that they would combine is I used the main color on the first one as the secondary color on the second one, and then used the main color of the second one as the secondary color on the third one. Can you see how that makes any kind of a color go together? It makes it look more like a collection when you somehow tie in the colors. You don't want to do the main color as the main color on another one. That would be too obvious. But by taking a main color and then making it a complementary color, so like the main color becomes the stripe color, and then the main color here becomes the stripe color here. And then it becomes more cohesive. Even though they don't match, they end up being more cohesive that way. What do you think? And I think you could keep going. You could make a bunch more and you would find that. And that would be great if you are changing colors in motifs, if you're making an Afghan or any type of a motif or square project, taking a main color and making it the complementary color helps that segue through lots of colors. In fact, we could talk a lot about that. And I think one of these days I'd really like to do a super duper colorful blanket in Be So Baby yarn. Which reminds me, can you imagine using this as the motif for a blanket? Can you imagine all that detailed color work? How amazing that would be as an Afghan? Unbelievable. Just even doing it just like this. You could either put make the next round with corners or just join them as the circles as they are. But my goodness, I think that would be one of the prettiest Afghans in the world. Should probably figure out the yardage for all that for anybody who's interested in making it, because that would be exquisite. Either one of these would make amazing motifs for a shawl, a wrap, a cardigan, a vest, an Afghan, a scarf. They'd be so pretty joined to other motifs just like them. And I think these ones are busy enough that you would not want to change the color sequence. You would want to keep all of them the same. When you go busy in one aspect, you want to keep everything else simple, right? So I think that when you choose one thing to be busy, the rest has to be simple. So in this one, we changed color a lot. So then you have to keep the rest simple. So you don't want to change the sequence of the colors when you do that. It is vibrant, Edna. They are so vibrant and they look so beautiful together. I can't believe how pretty they both turned out. And it'll be really fun to do some stuff in rainbow as well. Does anybody have any questions? I brought all the colors with me too of Baby if anybody wants to see any other color combinations. Ooh, I have a sneak peek too. These are sitting on my desk because I just finished doing the photo shoot for the Crochet Encyclopedia. And these are from the cover photo. I made a collage of all of them and made the cover of the book, and they're so gorgeous. Thank you for the compliment on my studio. I'm very excited about it. You see, I have a magazine rack over here that has all of my books on it, which I think is so cool that I have so many, I've authored so many books that I fill the magazine rack. It's like, okay, so in fact, no, I have more books than what are on that magazine rack. So what do? Get a second magazine rack? I mean, that's awesome. So I took a cake stand up here and made tiers of Be So Tender yarn to look like a cake. I thought that one was super cute too. And then over here, I found this wall hanging at a discount store a while back. I don't know if you can see the top of it right now. Let me show you. It says Be Brave in brass wire at the top. And then it has these hooks underneath it. Oh, can I see it? There we go. And I thought, what a great way to display yarn. Oh, and there's the original mandala over there. That's the original mandala that was done in Be So Serene yarn. And did I make the wall stands? No, I did not make these wooden ones. I have made other wooden furniture in my house, but I did not make these. But this one's over here is done in Be So Serene yarn in one color, and you can see how pretty it is in one color too. And so I attached real feathers to the bottom of the fringe on that one. So the next time, I think it'd be really fun to do yarn feathers. Here is the mermaid blanket that made the cover of Interweave Crochet a couple years ago. And then I have a wall hanging over there made out of tulle. I made roses out of tulle and then put metal studs around the edge. So cool. I love that one. What else is over here? What else have we got over here? And just stuff from different books and different projects in the cubbies and things on the mannequins. And, you know, everything's just ready for whatever kind of tutorial. What's on the tall mannequin? That is the Amara shawl from Motif Magic. This one's done in knit motifs that you join as you go in Be So Tender yarn. And thank you, Judy. I love my new home. I love being here. I love the space. I love the location. We're really, really happy here. It was a good move. You know, it was very stressful at first because it wasn't a move by choice. And when you have to move when it's not your choice, it feels like it's really stressful and it's not going to be great. But I just kept going. You know what? Everything happens for a reason. There's some reason why I have to leave my home. So, you know what? It turned out we found a great place and we're really happy here. This one here is the fine Madeline tunic, which if you have done the meshberry tunic, it is very similar to that one. It's the same yoke and same body, but it is longer and has a color blocked hem. And the other one, the meshberry, has sleeves on it. So they're slightly different, but also very similar. This is the crystal chain necklace, which is not only a free pattern, but also a kit on my website. This is a super popular pattern. What else do I have over here? Oh, and this is one of the scarves from 80 Handmade Gifts that I mentioned in the book. It doubles as a very nice belt, and it does. It does on the mannequins. Someone asked if I've named my mannequins. At one point, I named one of them Chrissy, but I have like 5 mannequins now, so I don't know. What are all the feathers on my seat? Oh, I just have a fluffy pillow on my seat. That's it. So that when I'm not sitting here, it just looks cute. What else? Yeah, just a bunch of DIY projects in the cubbies, things from 80 Handmade Gifts, things in my different yarns. Just try to keep the room with blues and greens. So back to the feng shui conversation we had recently. This part of the quadrant is the front left, I don't remember the words, is the front left quadrant for feng shui. So this room was supposed to be blue, green, and black in colors. And I thought, hello, blue, green, turquoise. I can totally pull that off with yarn and with things that I've made. And as far as black, I thought, hello, video equipment. Every tripod I own is black. So that worked out perfectly. So I feel like this room I was able to master for feng shui. We'll see what I do in the other rooms, and that's one of the reasons why I picked these colorways. The kitchen I want to keep beachy, and then my bedroom is back in the pink, red, white, and purple area of the home, so I thought this would be gorgeous back there. Thanks, Lisa. Let's see, what else? What other goodies do I have up here with me this morning? I thought that I'd try a tutorial for the feather this morning, but someone said there's no pink, red, and white in Be So Baby. Yeah, I have pink, red, and white. Maybe I missed the question. Maybe I didn't read it correctly. So someone's asking about the hats. That's actually a cowl done in Be So Bold yarn down there. Those are the nesting baskets that are knit in Be So Tender from 80 Handmade Gifts. That's a drawstring bag. That's a sewing project in 80 Handmade Gifts. This is a hank of Be So Bold yarn. And then in the cubbies over here, we've got a knit chevron hat in Be So Brave yarn. This little DIY cutie down here is so easy to make. You buy these little crystals that are flat back at a craft store, and with a hot glue gun, I was able to add them to this bubble vase, and I couldn't believe that the hot glue did not crack the glass, but it didn't. So you talk about a quick and easy and cheap DIY project. Absolutely gorgeous if you put a candle in it, but I also fill it with yarn and stuff, and you can't even see inside. So, so cute. But to fill this with candles or the battery operated candles, just gorgeous. This is a tutorial on my website and on my YouTube channel, so you can find it right here, and just so, so easy to do. This one is one of the stiffened baskets from from 80 Handmade Gifts. You can hear it. I'm going to put it next to, you hear how hard that is? So you can bang it on the table. This is a couple months old now. It's not softening up. It's completely stiff. And so what it really was to begin with is a basket weave hat, which is also a free pattern on my website. And once I put the epoxy solution, stiffening solution on it and saturated it, I put it over a bowl to form it and let it dry. It took only a couple minutes to stiffen and dry, and then popped it off the bowl. Isn't that amazing? It has a seam in it. This was one of the super easy hats that I made, so it had a bit of a seam in it, which shows up in the bowl, but that's okay, I don't mind. I just keep that to the back side. But I just love the way the basket weave texture showed up. So you've got your knit stitches and your purl stitches, and I just think that type of a texture looks amazing stiffened. So gorgeous. And it fit with the color theme in here, so even better. Thanks, Melissa. Yeah, so these are all projects that you know. You've just maybe not seen them all together. And then this is another one of the cute little paper projects in 80 Handmade Gifts. This is a little paper box that you can make to fill with gifts. And I curled the edges of the paper to turn them into a heart at the top. How cute is that for giving as a gift? So to do that, you simply take a pencil or a pen and just curl the edges of the paper before you glue them. But I just thought that was such a fun detail. Thanks, Lisa. Lovely. I think that's everything that's on display, just about. Yes, the basket, you could definitely do that with lace. I did do that with lace. In fact, I'll show you in 80 Handmade Gifts. I don't have it out with me right now. Oh, it might be in that box. Let's look it up in the book because it'll be easier to find. So here is a knit version of a stiffened basket in lace. And I filled this one in lines, which I thought was super cute because of the color contrast. But at night, to put a light in there, that would be absolutely gorgeous as well. And the crochet one is made with motifs that you join together and stiffen. Here we go. And again, I filled mine with fruit for color contrast, but at night you could put a light in there, and to see the light spilling out through the holes in the lace would be absolutely gorgeous. In fact, maybe I'll do some photos like that for social media. I'll do a photo of that and show it on Instagram and Facebook, and you can see it as another look for these baskets because they're just absolutely gorgeous like that. Same with the candle holders, just so pretty at night. I mean, looking at them during the day just doesn't do them the justice of what they look like at night. I mean, they're cute, but at night when the light's coming out through the negative space of the lace, it's just incredible. You can kind of see it because it's a darker spot here. You can kind of see where the light is. Oh yeah, you can put the light in it and flip the bowl over. Absolutely. And when you put them together as a set, I just think it's even prettier. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Yeah, because I live in Florida, I always like to do Florida-themed ingredients for gifts. Well, not always, but sometimes. So when I did the 3 batter-type bread loaves or muffins or whatever you want to call them, I wanted to make sure each one represented citrus fruit. So we did, what did we do? Blueberry lemon, raspberry lime, and then orange cardamom. And what's great about all 3 of those recipes is that each one was made into a different type of a product. So one was made into mini muffins, one was made into little individual size bread loaves, and then another one was made into the full-size bread loaf. What's great is that each of those recipes will work for any of those shapes and sizes. So all you need to do is pay attention to the time that they cook. So a smaller thing cooks for less time than a big thing. So let's see, the lemon, or was it I can't remember which one was a full-size loaf. I think it was the lime raspberry that was the full-size loaf. If you took that recipe and put it into the muffin tins, like the orange cardamom, totally fine. You just do that instead, but make sure you follow the recipe for the time of the size of the item that you made. Doesn't matter the flavorings. The flavors can be done for all 3 recipes, but the time that you bake them is based on the size of the thing you made. There's an amount of time that the big loaf has to cook. There's an amount of time that the mini loaf has to cook. And there's a time that the little mini muffins have to cook. And so depending on where you're going and what kind of a gift you're giving, if you're going somewhere with a group of people, you want to give the mini loaves or the mini muffins. If you're going to a home and you want to give something to one person, the loaf is great because they can cut their own slices and eat them with coffee and whatever. But I would consider making whichever size gift for where you're going. Well, I'm so glad everybody liked them, Lisa. That's great. Yeah, I've gotten a ton of emails from people saying that they've enjoyed all the recipes, and I'm so glad to hear that. That's awesome. Did I receive essential oil? No, I did not order any essential oil. No, I haven't ordered any yet. Wait and see if there's any more questions, and we're almost out of time. Time flies when you're busy, huh? Busy having fun. Looks like I'm going to make some progress on my lover bunnies today. Thanks, Kimberly. I love my new studio too. So glad to have you guys here this morning. But we'll be back to the beach soon. The beach it was just out of my hands this morning. Every time I tried to plan and organize, something just got switched on me. All right, it doesn't look like we have any more questions right now, so I really want to appreciate all of your patience and understanding for the time switches this morning. But thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.